What's up, y'all? Ghost Flows here from the Ghost Flow Speakeasy Podcast, Real Life Music Crew, COB Indiana Chapter, COB Worldwide, Soot Soot. Check it out. I wanted to make a quick YouTube video related to the topic of hip hop fashion. Now, on our podcast, Ghost Flow Speakeasy, we always talk about everything related to hip hop culture. So we talk about history, culture itself, fashion, you name it in the hip hop genre. But there's been a lot of different brands and fashions and all of that since, way back in the 80s and everything. But one of the biggest, for me personally, one of the biggest hip hop brands out there, especially from the 90s up, was Karl Kani. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Karl Kani. Check it out.
Ghost flows, speak easy. Ghost flows, speak easy. Ghost flows, speak easy. Ghost flows, speak easy. Anchor home of the ghost flows and speak easy. With OG Classic Jones, so move easy. A place we talk about rap news and political views, rap legends and the weekly reviews. With the dash of humor, man, so you're being amused. Quinn runs the house like a preacher bringing the news, changing the game, man, and rewriting the rules. Words paint a perfect picture like inspiring muse. Circle of viruses, man, make it do what it do. Built off self-success, walk a mile in these shoes. Stick with the flow, man, got 'em saying I choose. Don't be a hater all your life, act like you knew. Ha! Ghost flows, speak easy. Ghost flows, speak easy. Ghost flows.
All right, so let's jump into this Karl Kani thing, right? One of my all-time favorite brands when it comes to hip-hop fashion and stuff, especially in the 90s. A little bit about Karl Kani, not just the fashion itself, but the man behind it, and that is that Karl Kani, he was born Carl Williams, May 23rd, 1968, and that was in San Jose, Costa Rica. And, so his family ends up migrating in the late 60s to the United States. And then by age 16, he starts designing clothes after learning about it in his father's company. Now, he never studied tailoring or design, but he kind of had a flair for coming up with like unusual concepts and things. So he would buy material and tell a tailor kind of how he wanted it to look. And he'd try to get it for a pretty small sum. And so he'd try to have like a fresh outfit, that nobody else had. So after seeing him at clubs and stuff, a lot of people started asking him about trying to get an outfit of their own. And so he started like taking orders and stuff in his car. So then later on, like he had a death to one of his close friends, and it made him think kind of differently about life, kind of, going over some things. And he thought he should really do something positive. So in 1989, he went to Los Angeles, where he and a friend opened up a clothing store on Crenshaw Boulevard. They didn't really make any profit, and then they got robbed. So they moved to Hollywood, and they started selling catalogs for $2 that he and his partner had put together. They didn't really make, made profit from the catalog sales, but didn't really sell, any clothes or anything. And he decided to take out an advertisement in Ride On magazine, and that didn't really jumpstart sales. So after watching the Today Show, he started having an idea of paying a friend in New York to make a sign with his label's name on it. And things kind of started going from there. In addition to working with like a mainstream type of color selection that was going on at the time, he kind of modified the baggy pants look. And basically, he said that black people really didn't want to buy like really tight fitting jeans and things like that. So they always bought bigger sizes, but the waistlines and things would always be huge. So he basically tried to tailor it to where the pants themselves were bigger while the waistlines would kind of stay the same. And really had a lot of people start to embrace like his style of clothing and things like that. He had people like Tupac and Biggie and Nas, I think Puffy, P Diddy now, like guys like that that would embrace that. I think Aaliyah, was seen in Karl Kani, so it was a big deal, and it was a really really hot fashion. A lot of people refer to him as like the godfather of like urban fashion and things like that. But I'll put up pictures as we go here so you can kind of see some of those older designs and things. He took a big hit and a slump with a bad partnership several years back, but I think in 2016 he really started kind of getting all of his rights and his ownership back to things, and he's trying to get it back on par. So go to karlkani.com and you can check out like a lot of the fashion and stuff. I think he's bringing back some of that stuff from the 90s as well as like some new fashions and things, but still like still one of my favorite all-time brands as far as hip hop fashion goes. So yeah, I really think like people will always have their own choices and stuff. You have things like Cross Color, and you had Boss by IG, and so many other different brands out there. But for me, one of the ones that really really always stands out is Karl Kani. All right, so just a little bit of history on my favorite brand, right? Maybe you got a different brand that you like, a brand that maybe died out you wish would come back, or a brand that still exists today, or a new brand that's out that you like. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. If you like this type of topic and you want to hear more about hip hop stuff, you don't just have to come here to the YouTube channel. You can always come check us out on Ghost Flow's Speakeasy Podcast, and you can find that on Spotify, Google, Apple, Stitcher, Listen Note, wherever podcasts are available, you can find it there, or on the Anchor app. So check all those different things out. Let me know what you think, and tell me about more topics maybe you'd want to hear. Also, if you like the channel, like what we're doing, we're always trying to build and we're always trying to get better. So like and subscribe because we really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. With all that being said, y'all, whatever you're doing out there, be safe, right? And as always, speak easy.